Cyber Espresso Podcast, your quick shot of cybersecurity insights with industry leaders. I welcome today's guest, Diane Janosek, CEO of Janos. Diane, nice to see you in our podcast.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for having me on Cyber Espresso.
So, Diane, why don't you give a quick overview about yourself and your company?
Oh, thank you so much for offering that. So my name is Dr. Janosek. I have a background of 30 years in national security, intelligence, as well as just leadership and education and cyber policy. So I've had a tremendous experience working across the White House, Capitol Hill, as well as in the Pentagon, as well as the intelligence community within the United States. Just tremendous opportunities. I've met world leaders and I've worked very, very closely with foreign partners now and before. So it's just a very exciting time for cyber because as we know, cyber crosses all sectors, all countries. It's ubiquitous. There's no, geographic boundaries. So I embrace the community that we have. And I always like to say we have a cyber community because we do, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I can agree more. So I would like to start the conversation on the intersection of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and IT audits. So what are the key challenges and opportunities in integrating AI into cybersecurity audits, Diane, in your opinion?
There are a lot of challenges. There's also a lot of opportunities, as we know, because cyber compliance is extremely challenging. You got to be really keeping track of what anomalies are out there, what defenses are working, which ones are not working, what the new threats that are coming around the corner, where new ransomware techniques, what new nation state threat actors have. So there's a lot of opportunity for AI to help us look at cyber compliance in a different way and help us really find out what's real is real. And I'm assuming your next question is going to be more about AI and what is real, because that's, I think, huge.
You're absolutely right. My next question I was thinking is explaining AI because AI explainability is essential in ensuring trust and transparency. Now we are on the wave that all the organizations are pushing boundaries for new AI projects, AI initiatives. How can they strike the right balance between innovation and accountability?
$1 million question you just asked me. So I think everyone realizes that, as humans, we're innately a little bit inefficient, right? But at the
Mhm.
same time, we have tremendous critical thinking abilities. The way that we can piece together more information. And they've even done studies that as people grow older, they get wiser. And what does wiser mean? Wiser
Mhm.
means the ability to synthesize multiple data points and see the bigger picture, understand what the nuances are and where it's coming together. So AI is trying to replicate that human brain, right?
Mhm.
Well, what if you've got a 3-year-old
Mhm.
versus, a 70-year-old that has much more experience? It's not wise. So I think
Mhm.
that's why you're seeing in AI some concerns on how it's behaving, like the hallucinations, for example,
Mhm.
and how people that are using AI they could mentally be like a third grader in terms of their ability to really just get what they want to do and use it for nefarious purposes. Because a 3-year-old, might really want a cookie and it's going to do everything to get that cookie, like a physical cookie, maybe chocolate chip or
Yeah.
something. And so as they get older, they may still have that in them, and they haven't really, tempered their some of their whims, so to speak. So AI's got the ability to really um, incorporate some of those bad habits and really learn, just keep moving and going forward. And that's where I think there's the concern in terms of responsible AI. We know the fears are real, with deep fakes and misinformation, the use of AI for ransomware, which is extremely real and happening more and more frequently. So the threats are getting more sophisticated. So you are right. How do you adopt AI? Take a step back and breathe and say, okay, we want to move forward deliberately, but at the same time, not let your competitors or other countries, really push out ahead of you. So
Yeah.
you're like slowing down to speed up. So that's what we need to do. Let's slow down to speed up.
Good answer. So you feel the accountability on the companies, or we depend on standards, regulation, or the government or non-profits to regulate that?
You are spot on once again. So how do you enforce responsible AI? As an international community, as you know, there's not really an international body. So what
Hmm.
usually has to happen is usually it's market power
Hmm.
or voluntary compliance. And usually some type is it could be, um, will of the people, like just really saying, no, this is where we want. No, we don't want that. We want you to move this way. So I'm currently serving as the Chief Legal Officer for the Global Council for Responsible AI. And as we know, we can't do this alone. I mean, so what we're attempting to do is work with individuals across 70 countries to create ethical frameworks formed by cultural nuance, ancestral wisdom, community priorities. We're working to really shape a future where AI serves humanity, right?
Hmm.
And in innovation, but doesn't have the evils of humanity, so to speak, or make it easier for evil to be more pervasive across the globe.
That's correct. So back to compliance, which is
Oh
fundamental
yes.
for all the organization, but really beyond financial penalties, what are the broader consequences of being non-compliant?
So there's financial penalties. You're correct, especially within the EU. As you know, they do actually do pretty large penalties. Um, they can do pretty large penalties. I think it's going to have to be, in my personal opinion, consumer based or citizenry based, where people now are getting more concerned about use of their data, recognizing that their data is the product. They want to control it. They want to have more input as to how it's being used, why it's being used. There's just been a lot more media or news coverage on it. So
Mhm.
people are just becoming smarter, saying, I may not want that efficiency
Mhm.
if I've got to give up this privacy.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking about efficiency and privacy. About 10 years ago, I went to a store in the United States and I was buying some batteries with cash, just like, basic batteries with a $20 bill. And they asked me for my phone number. And I said, it's cash. Cash is legal tender. They go, oh, our policy's requirement is a phone number. I said, well, then it's my policy to walk out. Because you shouldn't have to give up a phone number when you're paying cash for something. But here now we're natural in the world that we're living in, this cashless society. We're giving up freedoms all over the place,
Mhm.
and I'm I'm a huge proponent to say no. We want cash as a tender. We don't want to move to a cashless society because there's no anonymity, there's no privacy. The children these days, I mean, they're going to be forever have a digital footprint. And so I think there's
Mhm.
concerns there. So responsible use of AI, responsible use of technology, embracing AI to do cyber compliance, embracing voluntary standards, ethical standards, responsible AI. Collectively, we have to start saying, no, we're better than this, or we want to be better than this. We got to come together and really make it a force of nature. It's like, the goodwill, the humanity that we have in all of us. Let's embrace that and say, no, we've got this.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, Diane, thanks for the lively conversation. I appreciate sharing your insights. So I look forward to other opportunities that we can talk, see each other. But I'm truly humbled to have you in our podcast. Again, I appreciate your availability.
Great. Let me share where to get information. So my name is Diane Janosek. You can find me at dianejanosek.com, DianeJanos.com, which is where my company Cyber Compliance is at Janos LLC. And for the Global Council for Responsible AI, it's gcrai.org, gcrai.org, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'll get you connected. So I appreciate everybody, appreciate you, I appreciate your podcast, and we've got a bright future. So let's run with it.
Very good. Thanks, Diane. Take care.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everybody. Thank you.